continuing to lead, and just Jose having little looks everywhere, still not able to get around him. What an unbelievable defensive masterclass this is from Unorthodox. Pit window, we reckon, is open, so the game reckons that these guys need to make one more pit stop for a fresh set of inters. As we see just Jose having a little look to the inside. Dan tries to close the door, squeezes up against the pit wall. It goes late on the brakes to Dan. Somehow he's going to hold on to that position. Wow, unbelievable racing that was from Unorthodox. Just Jose had the inside line. Dan went so late on the brakes and managed to hold it around the outside, and just Jose wasn't able to cling onto the position. That is incredible racing there from Unorthodox. Really got his elbows massively there in that little battle, but just Jose still not able to get ahead of Dan. But is he going to be able to do it now? He's going to have the outside. Dan's going to try and throw one back up the inside. Is he is? Oh, look at that. He's gone deep into the corner though. I think just Jose's got to have that move done. He has. Just Jose swoops round into the lead of the Russian Grand Prix here at Motive Racing. Dan can fight it no more. He put up a valiant effort. Here we go then, guys. We're moments away from the start of the Bahrain Grand Prix for third round of XLF1 League, and it is lights out and away we go. Bennett LCFC gets a good start off the line. Leozo slightly better, but looks like Bennett's going to cover him off coming up towards the first corner. You got A. Thompson there just behind us now. Leozo's looking down the inside, but Bennett covers him off, and we've got a bit of an incident there between two Alpines, and oh no, somebody's gone off there. That's Torre there off in the background. Looks like A. Thompson got caught up a little bit in that one as well, as looks like San is also got up in the Ferrari. Torre without his front wing. Paul Codd in all sorts of nightmares there at the start. Bennett leads ahead of Derby Bay. Double waved yellows through sector 1. Derby Bay in second. Bennett's already got a clear lead. Leozo down to third, losing out to Derby Bay in that first sector as Leozo goes straight over the runoff there and loses out to Andrew Pipsmith and Karts. Chami there in 6th with Malky Viper in 8th, Tree Monkey Page A. Thompson down in 10th place after that sketchy start. Sophie in 11th with San 12th, and M. Harry's just got ahead of Torre up into 13th place. Looks like M. Harry's had a dodgy first lap as well, but Torre without a front wing could not have gone much worse for him. Paul Cog gets him up into 14th place. Bennett leads though by over 2 seconds to Derby Bay. Looks like Bennett LCFC's had probably the dream first lap here on this at this Bahrain Grand Prix, as we just see there A. Thompson trying to find his way ahead of Soph there. In fact, he's got ahead of Viper as well. In fact, now Viper down the inside of A. Thompson. A. Thompson very wide there and loses out to both Viper and Tree Monkey Page. Tree Monkey Page is up into 8th place. Bennett leads by just over 2.5 seconds to Derby Bay as we're coming around to complete the first lap. Derby Bay running in second. We've got Andrew Pittsmith in 3rd place. Karts 4th. There's Chami. Leozo's got Tree Monkey Page just behind him, and Tree Monkey Page has just got ahead of it, back up into 7th place there, as Viper's got A. Thompson just over a second behind him. Leozo into the pits at the end of the first lap, and not too surprisingly, really, when you consider that all that carnage that's gone on in the first lap. Is anybody going to try and put the hards on and go to the end from here? I don't think so, seeing as Bahrain's quite a difficult track on the tyre wear. But it's currently Bennett leading ahead of Derby Bay. Andrew Pittsmith in 3rd. Karts is pretty close on the back of Andrew Pittsmith right now though. 0.8 of a second between these two, and that's pretty much the order at the moment here on lap 2 of 29 for the F1 Hit League here at XL on a Wednesday night. And Bennett once again doing what he does best. Leozo's out of the race. I don't know what's happened to Leozo there. We've got double waved yellows in sector 1. I don't know if he's crashed out in the first sector, but whatever the case, Leozo is out, and we're down to 14 drivers here already. So we've lost one. Torre in the pits, obviously, to get that front wing, to get a new front wing put on that Alpine, and that's been done, and the double waved yellows have subsided in the first sector, so presumably the marshals there cleaning up Leozo's car very quickly, and that's now done and dusted. Timing board's just having a bit of a meltdown here, but Bennett does have the lead over Derby Bay. Andrew Pittsmith there in 3rd, Karts 4th. Chami about a couple of seconds behind Karts at this point, running in 5th place. You got Tree Monkey Page about 3 seconds behind Chami there in 6th. You Viper there a little way off of Tree Monkey Page. Soph in the other McLaren, not too far behind a teammate. You got M. Harry there. Oh, M. Harry's lost it. M. Harry spun round and that's lost in the position there. Paul Codd's up into 9th place. M. Harry having an absolute horror show there, and he's lost out to Paul Codd. Nobody else really on the scene to capitalise on that. A. Thompson and San have both put the hards on, so they can presumably go to the end of this race. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe they have to put the soft on before the end, but that's a ballsy decision there from both of those guys. I wonder how that's going to work out for them. A. Thompson's just gone ahead of Malky up into 11th place, so we'll see how this pans out. This could get interesting once we get to the latter stages of this race. Bennett still leads by over 3 seconds ahead of Derby Bay. Andrew Pittsmith running in 3rd place, couple of seconds off of them. And M. Harry's just gone ahead of Paul Codd back up into 9th place as Paul Codd looks like he had a bit of a moment there coming to the first corner. He's now losing out to A. Thompson, and A. Thompson's up into 10th place there ahead of Paul Codd. And Malky now pretty close to the back of Paul Codd as well, coming up towards turn 4. Bennett's lead to Derby Bay stretching out at the front now, 3.5 seconds. Here's Derby Bay's gap back. Derby Bay's gap back to Andrew Pittsmith, staying at around 2 seconds. So no real changes there in that particular instance. You've got Carts running just a couple of seconds behind Andrew Pittsmith there in 4th place. Chammy's dropping off of Carts. You've also got Tree Monkey Page about a second off of the back of Chammy at this point. Further 5 seconds back to this man Viper, who's not shaken off the challenge of his teammate Soph. Soph is still keeping Viper very much within her sights at the moment. They've both got medium tyres on, so they're both very much in the same boat, or same McLaren papaya orange livery, should I say. But Paul Codd's got ahead of M. Harry up into 10th place. M. Harry must have made a mistake there because he's dropped behind Malky. Malky's now up into 11th, so M. Harry having a very, very difficult moment there. Double wave yellows in sector 1. What's that in aid of? Don't quite know at this point. Just flicking through the pack trying to see. Chammy. It might have been Chammy. Chammy's now down to 7th behind Viper, so it could be that Chammy had a bit of an excursion there and has brought out the double wave yellows, but they've already subsided as they're coming through that section of the track now, so that looks to be all sorted. M. Harry is in the pits from 12th place, so he's presumably going to try and put some hards on, maybe go to the end. That's what will be the most logical at this point, but we'll see once he pulls up to his box what's his team got ready for him. His team have got the mediums, so he's presumably going to do one more, I don't know, maybe try and go long on this stint, go to about lap 20 or something, lap 19 or 20, put a set of softs on to the end. Who knows at this point? Only he will know the answer to that one. But Bennett's still leading at the moment. And we've got Viper, Chammy and Soph separated. Paul Codd's out of the race. Paul Codd's retired. He's DNF'd. He must have hit the wall somewhere. Safety cars deployed here on lap 4 of 29. Bennett LCFC. You could not write it. This man gets the rub of the green in every scenario here in the XLF1 League. He's seriously... Bennett, man, tell me what your lottery numbers are. I want your lottery numbers. My goodness. How lucky can you get as a driver? He's literally pulling up on the pit lane just as the safety car comes out. It's like every opportunity where he could be potentially rumbled, he just seems to get the rub of the green. But Derby Bay now leads the race. He's staying out for now, so he has opted for track position and will lead this race. Bennett will obviously be right behind him on fresher tyres. Chammy's opted to stay out and get track position. He's up into 3rd place. Soph likewise has opted to stay out and get ahead of the guys who have been into the pits. Andrew Pittsmith has changed tyres onto the hards. He can now go to the end of the race, so watch out for Andrew Pittsmith. Carts on fresh softs will be on a charge. We'll be looking to try and get ahead of Andrew as soon as he can. Tree Monkey Page on the fresh mediums. Again, we'll be looking to try and make headway. You got Viper on the soft tyres, will be absolutely chomping at the bit on those fresh tyres. A. Thompson has got fresh mediums on, will drop behind Malky. Malky's staying out, opting for track position over A. Thompson. You got San, who already had reasonably fresh hards anyway. Doesn't really gain too much because he was too far behind beforehand. You got Torrey just behind him in 12th place on the mediums, relatively fresh mediums as well, and M. Harry at the back on 1 lap old medium tyres. So that's the classification. Derby Bay getting the jump on Bennett due to Bennett coming in under the safety car. But lap 5 of 29, stay tuned guys, this is going to be an absolute thriller of a race here at XLF1 League. Don't go anywhere, grab a drink, grab a snack, do what you got to do. We'll be back on in around 2.5 minutes. little delay there. Bennett's looking at the outside of Derby Bay. He's got the move done up into turn 4. In the background there, you got Carson Chammy very, very close as A. Thompson's out of the race already on the restart. Oh, what a disaster there. A. Thompson has not had the last couple of rounds, to be honest with you. He's out of this one just after the restart. Lap 7 of 29. Bennett getting the jump on Derby Bay on that restart. Carson third ahead of Chammy. Soph there in 5th place behind them as San gets ahead of Torrey up into 7th place, and San dropping positions there. Harry following Torrey through up into 8th place. San losing out massively. Malky Viper. Oh no, Malky runs into the back of him, and Malky there hits the back of San massively, loses his front wing. There's going to be bodywork all over the track there as now Viper gets ahead of Malky up into 10th place. Tree Monkey Page just behind these guys in 12th place. Bennett leads by 1.4, having overtaken Derby on the restart, and has already pulled out quite a big gap to him so far. Cart's within 7/10 of a second of Derby at the moment, with Chammy there in 1.4 back in 4th place. Andrew Pittsmith in 5th. Torrey's got ahead of Soph up into 6th, as we can see there. Also, Malky there getting ahead of M. Harry. M. Harry must have made a mistake, and he has. He's off the track, and he's down to last place here in this race. It's all gone horribly wrong there for him. Viper's on the back of San at the moment. Has got Tree Monkey Page in hot pursuit as they're coming out of the last corner. Viper gives San a big tap in the rear as they're coming out onto the start finish straight. Now Soph in the pits at the end of lap 7. San, Viper, Tree Monkey Page separated by absolutely nothing as they're coming down the start finish straight. What's going to happen here? Viper's got a couple of cars looking to his outside as now the Ferrari of San down the outside. Can he hold it around the outside of turn 1? San does it. Brilliant moves. Tree Monkey Page is going to try and follow him through, and Viper losing out a couple of positions in space of a couple of corners there. Looks like Viper there is down to 9th place as San and Tree Monkey Page both coming through. Disaster there for Viper as he loses 2 positions. A. Thompson's left the session. The original host of this session has left, and it's currently Bennett leading by 2 seconds. Derby Bay's got heavy pressure from Carson. Andrew Pittsmith, and Andrew Pittsmith down the inside there. Has he got it done? I think he might have done. I don't know what's happened there, but Chammy really close on the back of Andrew Pittsmith right now, as he's within a second of him. Torrey also very close on the back of these two as they're now battling it out over 4th, 5th and 6th places. Tree Monkey Page there, half a second off on the back of San. Viper very much on the back of this train here, second separating these 3 cars. Bennett though leading by over 2.7 seconds, is already pulling out by quite a big margin here at the front ahead of Derby Bay. Cart's within a second of Derby Bay at this point. Oh no, Cart's has lost it, and he's totaled the car. He's out of the race for sure, and that's double waved yellow flags coming through sector 3. The virtual safety car is out, and that is a big crash there for Carts from P3. He was on the podium, but it's all gone horribly wrong for him there. He's DNF'd here from the Bahrain Grand Prix here at Excel in the F1 League, and that is not the situation that he needed in any way, shape or form. What a shame there for him as Derby Bay comes into the pits and tries to make the most of the pack being slowed down a little bit. He's bringing it in under the virtual safety car, and into the box he comes to try and get the jump here on Bennett if he can. Medium tyres going on to the Alfa Romeo there of Derby Bay, and that will maybe serve him well coming towards the end of this race. But Bennett, we know, is a master strategist as well as a very quick driver, so we'll have to see how that one goes. But at the moment, San's got Tree Monkey Page and Viper very close on the back of him here. Look at this, as we can now see Tree Monkey Page looking to try and go around the outside of Viper. DRS aided overtake there for the Alpine, and he goes clean around him there. And Tree Monkey Page is up into 5th place there around Viper. Very nicely done there from him. He can now try and get onto the back of San if he can. But it's going to be pretty close there between these 3 guys. As now looks like Tree Monkey Page has got ahead of San there. San ever so wide, and Tree Monkey Page is up into 4th place there. Nicely done. M. Harry was on the back of Derby Bay. Derby Bay, having made that pit stop, has come out just ahead of M. Harry, and looks like he'll be trying to pull away from him as quickly as he can to try and stay off the challenge of a driver who's still yet to come in and make the pit stop, or at least he's on a different strategy in this case. Viper's got back ahead of San up into 5th. San losing out 2 positions there in the space of a couple of corners, side by side up towards the end of the back straight, but Viper's got that done up into 5th place there, and can now try and go after Tree Monkey Page. But Tree Monkey Page, testament to the pace that he's got here, has already pulled out 2.5 seconds over Viper and San since making that move on the 2 of them. And oh no, Viper's lost it! Another McLaren! Not another McLaren, but another car losing the car through that corner. This time though, he's only lost his front wing, but Viper able to continue on. He's now dropped behind San and Derby Bay, and Viper there doing this exact same thing that Carts did a couple of laps ago, but not but at such a high speed, he managed to get the car slowed down sufficiently enough to not have a simply monumental accident. But he's into the pits here at the end of lap 9 to get that front wing changed, and Viper's had a disaster there. Derby Bay's just got ahead of San up into 5th, which he needed to do, seeing as he's in the battle for the race win with Bennett LCFC tonight. Derby Bay wants to make as quick progress through the field as he possibly can. He's now just under 5 seconds behind Tree Monkey Page, running in 4th place. Tree Monkey Page making very quick progress up towards the front. He's now closing on Tory, who's running in that final podium spot. Andrew Pittsmith running in 2nd, almost 10 seconds behind Bennett LCFC. Viper in the pits, Malky and Chami moving through up into 9th and 10th places. These two separated by about 6/10 of a second at the moment, as M. Harry's very close. Oh no, M. Harry's got into the market there. He's got into one of the advertising hoardings, and the sponsors will not thank him in any way, shape or form for that. Aramco are going to be sending him an invoice after that one. I'm absolutely certain of that. But M. Harry has dropped down to 7 seconds behind San after that little skirmish there, as Chami's still on the back of Malky here. Look at this, 4/10 of a second between these two coming through the middle sector of the lap. Is Chami going to try and throw one down the inside of Malky, trying to catch him off guard if he can? Or is Malky going to hold firm? Oh, Malky, big slide there coming out of that corner, but he holds on to the position for the time being. Double wave yellows through sector 3. Is that Tree Monkey Page, as he's just lost out to Derby Bay there? I don't know. Tree Monkey Page, I think that may have been him that triggered those double wave yellows, as he's dropped down to 5th place there in that little exchange, and Derby Bay up another position, obviously in that strategic fight with the race leader Bennett LCFC in this race. Zo's got ahead of M. Harry up into 7th place, and Chami's still on the back of Malky here in this battle for 9th and 10th places here. But Derby Bay, fastest lap of the race that last time around from this man here, currently sat in 4th place. He's about 23 seconds off of the race leader Bennett, who we know he's in the battle with for the race win. So it's going to be interesting to see how this strategy plays out. Obviously Derby Bay was pretty close on the back of Bennett LCSC before he came into the pits, and he's going to be trying to make sure that that virtual safety car pit stop eventually has some kind of reward for him. Well, we see there Malky, Chami both getting ahead of San and M. Harry, are both in the pits at the end of lap 10. So those two coming in and getting it done and out of the way, as we can see Chami getting all sorts of out of shape there. Oh my goodness me, and loses out to Malky. Malky just swoops up the inside and gets himself up into 7th place. Chami there getting a little bit out of shape, and that battle, which has been raging on for a few laps now, has kind of just boiled over as Malky gets himself into 7th place. The rest of the battles out on track kind of petering out a little bit at the moment. Bennett still leads. He's got a 12-second gap to Andrew Pittsmith. He's got a further 2 seconds back to Torrey, and then Derby Bay is about 23-24 seconds off with the leader Bennett LCFC. Currently the undercut doesn't seem to be working. He's losing time to the race leader, but the race leader is on soft tyres, so he'll have to grippier, faster pace will Bennett LCFC, but also the less durable. His tyres will wear out much quicker than Derby Bay's, so he'll hit the cliff a lot quicker than Derby Bay's will. Double wave yellows through sector 2, not 100% what they're for, but Chami has dropped off of Malky a little bit. 1.6 already between those two since Malky made the move on him. Currently Torrey within 1.8 seconds of Andrew Pittsmith at the moment. Andrew on those hard tyres though will have less grip, but Torrey has done 9 laps on his mediums, so he could potentially be close to the cliff at this point if he doesn't look after those tyres a little bit better. But at the moment he's sat in that final podium spot. He's got 9 seconds back to Derby Bay. Gap between Bennett and Derby Bay at this point staying at around 24 seconds. It's not going up, it's not going down, it's kind of just staying at around the same. Those two seem pretty evenly matched at this point, so it's those two that are going to be battling out for the win. It's going to be between those two for the win tonight for XLF1 League's round 3 here at Bahrain. But the rest of the pack just kind of a little bit strung out, not really too much going on at this point, not really many battles happening, so we're just going to kind of wait and see how this strategy plays out. Bennett still gets to come in and get those soft tyres changed. The soft tyres will probably do about 8, 9, maybe 10 laps if you're very kind to them. Here at Bahrain, obviously we're in the desert, so it's hot in this part of the world, but it's at night, so the temperatures are a little bit colder than what you would see in the day, in the heat of the day, which means that the tyre wear isn't quite as excessive as what you would see if we were sat here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, say for example. But at the moment it's currently Bennett leading the race. Oh, Tree Monkey Page is out of the race. He's retired from the race, and we got another safety car here. Oh my goodness me, we've got another safety car here at Bahrain on lap 12 of the race, and Tree Monkey Page, what a shame there for him, crashing out on lap 12 as Torrey comes into the pits. Bennett and Andrew have both already passed the pits by the time that Tree Monkey Page triggered the safety car. Chami's got done for speeding under the safety car, our race control is just telling us, so he's obviously kept it a little bit too fast under the safety car, which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to slow down under the safety car, so he'll obviously get a penalty for that that as he's picked up a drive through, as we just see Andrews just gone past the safety car there, so they're going to have to do at least another lap before they pick it up. Torrey's come in and got the pit stop done, and it's got fresh hards which will comfortably take him to the end of the race. Derby Bay's come in and put some mediums on. Those should be able to last him to the end of the race, because by the time we get going under the safety car, we'll only have about 14 racing laps left, and I know the mediums can comfortably do 14 racing laps. So Derby Bay's putting himself in a very comfortable position here. Soph in the pits. Malky and Chammy have both moved up ahead of Soph up into 5th and 6th places respectively. Viper also in the pits. The two McLarens double stacking here. The pit crew have got to be on their A game here. Two Monkey Page though, we've lost him here on lap 12 of this race. M Harry still going in 9th place with San in 10th. 10 drivers left in this race. We started with 15, we're down to 10. 5 have lost along the way, and Bennett leads this race ahead of Andrew Pittsmith, Torrey, Derby Bay and Malky, the top 5. Here we go then, we're moments away from the third restart of the evening for Excel F1 League's OG League here on a Wednesday night, round 1 of the season, because the first 2 rounds unfortunately, well, the first round that we had last week at Australia doesn't count because they had to make a new championship, but we're about to go racing once again here, lap 17 to 29, 13 laps left to go, so 13 lap dash to the finish here. Bennett leads ahead of Andrew Pittsmith. Andrew Pittsmith very close on the back of him, but looks at Torrey. Torrey on the inside there up into second place. Torrey gets himself ahead of Andrew there. Brilliant stuff, but he goes a little bit deep into the corner. He loses out to Derby Bay. Andrew back up into second place, and now Derby Bay all over the back of Andrew Pittsmith. Andrew Pittsmith is going to lose out here to Derby Bay up towards turn 4 as Derby Bay clean around the outside there. Torrey in 4th with Malky there. Chami, Soph. There's Viper up the inside of M. Harry trying to get a move done. Can't get it done. San and Viper down to the back of the field here as M. Harry and San get ahead of him. Torrey drops down to 7th place. Malky and Soph both getting ahead of him there. Bennett leads ahead of Derby Bay and has already got a second of a gap to him, but Andrew Pittsmith running in 3rd place ahead of Chami, and Malky the top 5 has got Soph up his inside. Soph gets herself up into 5th place there. Great move there on Malky up into P5. Soph muscles away through as we got San there getting ahead of Torrey up into 8th place, and Viper down to P10 in this race. Disaster of a restart here for Viper. Has not gone to plan at all for him as Bennett is running 8 tenths ahead of Derby Bay at the moment, and Andrew Pittsmith half a second back in 3rd place. Chami already dropping off at the back of the top 3 by quite a bit here. 3 seconds behind us now. He's got Soph all over the back of him here. Soph hounding and hassling him. Chami trying to find a way through. 3 tenths between these two as they're going to come in towards the final sector of the lap. They're a couple of seconds ahead of M. Harry here, but Soph trying to get the run. Trying to get back. Oh, and M. Harry's round. M. Harry's lost it there. Spins it right into the path of an Alpine there. Torrey squeezes through. Oh my goodness me. Soph gets herself ahead of Chami up into 4th place, but it's all going off here on the restart. As San is now only 4 tenths off of the back of Malky. Viper gets himself up into 8th place with Torrey and M. Harry's woes. Bennett has got just over a second of a gap to Derby Bay. He's got heavy pressure from Andrew Pittsmith in this battle for 2nd and 3rd. San's got ahead of Chami up into 5th as Chami's coming into the pits. Malky, Viper also in the pits, as well as Malky there. And have we lost another driver? I think we have. Torrey is out of the race as well. What a shame there for Torrey. Double waved yellows in sector 3. We've lost another driver, but I think the marshals are going to recover that under the double waved yellows, so that should be alright as there's no one in the vicinity, as Bennett still leads by 1.8 ahead of Andrew Pittsmith, and Derby Bay pretty close on the back of Andrew right now, only 4 tenths back there in 3rd place. Torrey's left the session unsurprisingly there with that retirement, but these are the top 3 here: Bennett, Andrew and Derby Bay at the moment, as Andrew and Derby Bay really dicing it out, and while they're battling it out a little bit, it's giving Bennett just that opportunity to kind of clear off a little bit and just put a bit of breathing space between himself and these two. These two going at it here on lap 18 of the race. They need to kind of just work together and get themselves in order if they are going to be able to chase after the race leader Bennett, but they're all on the medium tyres and they can all go to the end of the race from here, so there's no questions about stamina, there's no question about tyre life. They're all going to make it to the end from here. 3 tenths between Andrew and Derby Bay coming up towards the final corner. Can Andrew try and get a good run and try and defend from Derby Bay? DRS I think is going to be open on this lap, so we are going to see the rear wing wide open here. DRS is enabled, and here comes Derby Bay. He's going to try and make this move here on Andrew. No DRS this time. They'll get it on the run between turns 3 and 4, but Derby Bay doesn't need DRS. He's down the inside into turn 1. Andrew with no response. Casey, no, he is still around the outside. Andrew doing a great job there, getting a good run out of turn 2, in turn 1 into 2, and out of 3 up towards this long run towards 4. It's Andrew Pittsmith once again up into 2nd place. Derby Bay looking to the inside in towards the corner, but in the end thinks better of that one. He tucks in behind, can't get the move done. So 5 seconds behind these two, running in 4th place there. Big gap back to M. Harry. Chami's got ahead of Tan up into 6th, but this is the battle on track right now between Andrew Pittsmith and Derby Bay. What a show these boys are putting on. They're 3 seconds behind Bennett at the moment, but they're just dicing it out between each other. And San and Viper both in the pits, I presume, for damage of some sort. Malky up into 7th, but we're going to carry on watching this battle here between 2nd and 3rd places. Andrew and Derby Bay giving us an absolutely fantastic show here in 2nd and 3rd places. Bennett is absolutely running off into the sunset already as we've got a double waved yellows in sector 2. I'm just trying to look at the timing board to try and figure out who that is. I think that was M. Harry there, as Chami's up into 5th. M. Harry losing out and has dropped a little bit off since then as well, so Chami's got ahead of him and some more ahead of M. Harry, but we're currently watching this battle here between Andrew and Derby Bay as they're running up towards the final corner. And San is out of the race. He's retired from the race. He's had a big crash there somewhere, I don't know where. San is out of the race. Double wave yellows through sector 2. The marshals are going to try and cover that under the double waved yellows, and they've already got that one sorted out by the looks of it. So great speedy work there from the Bahraini marshals, and Harry's out of the race. Oh no, they're all falling by the wayside here. VSC for the entire track there, full course virtual safety car, and well, it's Bennett who leads by 4 seconds of Andrew Pittsmith and Derby Bay. These two still dicing it out. That's kind of put this battle on hold for a little bit. Harry out of the race. What a shame there for him. And well, we're just seeing everybody seems to be making mistakes here at Bahrain. It seems to be one of those tracks, to be fair. I remember at Motive on the Friday nights, we had an absolutely catastrophical race where we were down to 5 cars by the end of the race, and this very much mirrors the action that we saw that night here at XL. So yeah, definitely not the way that we would have liked to kick things off here for a new season. Obviously, with last week's race at Australia voided, but Andrew's gapped Derby Bay by a couple of seconds so far on this lap, so he looks to have control of this one at the moment. Viper's got ahead of Malky up into 6th, so Malky's coming to the pits. That's why Viper's got ahead of him. As we're still watching Andrew Pittsmith, he's keeping the gap at around 2 seconds to Derby Bay at the moment. Bennett about to start lap 21 of 29. 9 laps left to go here for the Bahrain Grand Prix here in the XLF1 League. If you want to get involved, guys, go to the Discord server in the description. Join XL Racing League. Also join Motive Racing as well. We're the broadcasters of this stream. We're working in collaboration with XL F1 League to provide some of the best streams, some of the best action here on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 here on the Codemasters Formula 1 game. And it's currently Andrew Pittsmith still keeping Derby Bay at bay, but only by 1.6 seconds at this point. Bennett LCFC's got a gap of 5 seconds over these two and seems to be stretching it out as we go along. Seems to have this race within his grasp, barring any major catastrophes. It's really between these two for second place in this race, and I'm sure it's going to go down to the wire between these two, that is for sure. As Viper's crashed out of the race there, he's retired from the session. Double wave yellows through sector 3. Viper having a mare there. Oh, what a shame. So Viper out of the race there, and the double wave yellows through sector 3. The marshals are going to try and clear that one up under double wave yellows, but they're all biting the dust here. And Andrew's still keeping that gap to Derby Bay at just under 2 seconds. Andrew Pittsmith holding on, and Derby Bay still there in the background, still waiting in the wings, waiting to pounce if he can. But to be fair to Bennett and Derby Bay, they've kind of just kept this gap around the same to Bennett over the course of this lap. They've kind of just brought the gap back to him. I mean, not really, like, they're not really reeling him in, but they kind of, he's not really pulling away anymore, is what I'm trying to say. So I wonder if maybe Andrew's starting to get into a bit of a groove here, and maybe starting to bring the gap down to the race leader. He seems coming through the foreground there, through a shot. Karts has left the session, no surprise, he's retired from the race quite some time ago now. Derby Bay's got the gap down to 1.3 here to Andrew Pittsmith, but Andrew Pittsmith's still closing in a little bit on Bennett at the moment, as we've got 7.5 laps left to go here at Bahrain. And it could still be race on. These guys come over the line to start their 23rd lap of the race. 7 laps left to go. Andrew's still keeping Derby Bay at bay by 1.2, 1.1, 1.2 seconds here. Noticing there, Malky is up into P5 as Chamby's coming into the pits. The gap between Andrew and Derby Base still at around a second, so Derby Base still there, and he's now within DRS range. So if he gets a good last corner and keeps himself in that 1 second window, he will be able to open that rear wing and he'll get a major straight line speed advantage coming down this part of the track. Andrew's still running in second place, but what can Derby Bay do here? Can he reel him in and get the jump on him up towards turn 1? Here they come onto the brakes. No, he's a little bit too far back just at the moment, but he'll get another bite of it out of turn 3 up towards turn 4. If Derby Bay can get a good run coming out of here, he might stand a chance here. Here we go, once again, a second helping of DRS. Now Derby Bay's going to have a great opportunity here. Andrew, though, just about far enough ahead coming into the braking zone. The braking zone coming just in time there for Andrew Pittsmith, and Derby Bay not able to capitalise. So these two guys have got 5 laps left to go here in this race. They're continuing to drop steadily off at the back of the race leader, Bennett LCFC, who's run off into the distance here with this race. But it's between these two for second and third. We just saw some yellow flags being waved, but they have now subsided. So here we go, DRS wide open for Derby Bay. He's going to try and make this move down the inside of Andrew if he can. Cuts across him a little bit. Andrew throws a little feint to the inside into the braking zone, but Derby Bay's got it done into turn 1. Beautifully done there. And that is now the man who's been on the pace of Bennett through parts of this race, now in front of Andrew. And what's Andrew got to fight back here? The Alfa Romeo getting the move done, and Aston has got the DRS coming up towards turn 4, but to no avail. And Derby Bay now can try and cement his place there in second spot. A little bit too far back off of Bennett to go for the lead, but I'm sure that he can try and keep himself into this P2. Beautifully done there from Derby Bay, getting ahead of Andrew Pittsmith, but Andrew's going to keep him fighting all the way to the flag. You can bet on that for sure. As Bennett continuing to extend his gap by 6.7 to these two. Andrew's done a really good job since Derby Bay got ahead of him, because he's kept himself in that fight. He's not dropped off of him, he's not given up, he's not kind of thought, oh well, screw it, I'm not interested anymore. He's really kept on the back of him, and it looks as though these two actually very evenly matched for pace. I wouldn't say that Derby Bay's particularly quicker than Andrew Pittsmith at this point. Now we're seeing him got ahead of him. He hasn't really shown that he's got superior pace. Although having said that, he looked very quick through that section of the track. Got beautiful traction out onto the back straight. But Andrew's quick in the entries to the corners. On the way into the corners, Andrew seems to have the grip. The front end grip really is strong in that Aston. He's clearly got it set up for the front end, but the rear end seems to be very much with Derby Bay. Derby Bay seems to have a much more stable rear end, and that's giving him that launch, it's giving him that traction, it's giving him that drive out of the slower corners, and it's giving him that straight line speed advantage, because he's able to get such a better run out onto the straights. But Right now it's currently a bit of a toss-up here between these two, as they're about to start the third lap of the race, the third to last lap of the race, and yeah, Derby Bay still just ahead of Andrew Pittsmith at the moment, 4 tenths between him in towards turn 1. The thing is though, Andrew's going to get another helping at DRS, and the back marker's just lost it there in front of them. That was Chami there who lost it, got out of shape and gets it going once again. But these two up towards turn 4, more DRS for Andrew to no avail though, has to tuck in behind him and live to fight another day there. Oh my goodness, I do apologise for that. That was accidental. But Bennett leading this race, as he's got 2 and a bit laps left to go here in this one to bring it home for another win here in this XLF1 League. Kicked off what we thought was going to be a winning start to the season last Wednesday here at XL, but unfortunately for him, the first race got avoided. It got completely abandoned, so it doesn't count for anything. Viper was telling me before the race that this is officially round 1 of the season for the XLF1 League, so last week was basically a complete waste for the drivers who finished. But now Bennett on maximum points currently as it stands, I think he's on the fastest lap as well, will be obviously still getting the first win of the season, despite getting what was the first win of the race season that never was last week. This is now going to be the actual first win of the season for him, as he comes over the line to start the penultimate lap of the race here at Sakira International Circuit. Derby Bay in the background has got 8 tenths back to Andrew Pittsmith up towards the first corner. Is Andrew going to throw one down the inside? No, he's not. Thinks better of that one, tucks in for the time being despite having the DRS. Didn't really do him too many favours there. Bit deep on the exit of turn 1. It's going to compromise him, and he's not going to be close enough even with the DRS to make a move up towards 4. He will get the closing speed, it will get him just that little bit extra closer, but really with the DRS, because it's such a short straight and because the zone isn't that long, you only really gain about 2 tenths from the slipstream and the DRS combined. You need to be absolutely on them coming out of turn 3 if you're going to get them on that run up towards turn 4. Otherwise it doesn't really do you anything, doesn't really make any difference. But at the moment Derby's still holding on ahead of Andrew Pittsmith at the moment by the skin of his teeth, having made that move about 3-4 laps ago I think it was, and looks set to take a P2, as he always gets a fantastic run through those corners, and then that run out onto the back straight. Derby Bay is flying through there. Andrew Pittsmith struggling like crazy with the rear end of that Aston Martin, but at the moment it looks like Derby Bay is going to be able to hold on for this one. Bennett LCFC is coming down the back straight towards the final corner of the lap, and it's going to be one more lap here for Bennett as he's driving in the Mercedes this season. The champion of XL F1 League, OG League, on a Wednesday and a Sunday night is going to be, once again, as we said last week, kicking off the season in the best possible way. Last week's first round doesn't count, so this is it. This is the main this is the moment we've all been waiting for. This is the actual first round where the points are going to count and where it's going to count towards the championship. But Bennett LCFC with a 7-second lead over Derby Bay. Andrew Pittsmith there running just behind Derby Bay in third place, about a second off. So Derby Bay's really made the gains over the course of this last lap or so and looks set to take that second place, but never say never. Andrew could throw the kitchen sink at him on this final lap, as we've got Soph there running in 4th, Malky 5th and Chami 6th. Big shout out to these three. They could have given up, they could have thought, they could have thrown in the towel, but they've kept going and they're on course for some really strong points here. Sophie's going to pick up 12 points for a 4th place, some great points for her championship. Malky, 10 points for him in the Aston Martin, really big shout out also. And Chami's going to get 8 championship points for a P6 despite a very turbulent race indeed, so he will definitely get a little bit of a reward here at the end of this one. But it's Bennett LCFC coming down to the end of the middle sector back straight for the final time, and what a drive it's been from this man. Looked like he was going to have a bit of a fight from Derby Bay at points in this race. Derby Bay seemed to have outfoxed him at stages in the strategy, but Derby Bay, unfortunately for him, lost out to Andrew Pittsmith on the restart. If it wasn't for that, maybe he could have possibly kept Bennett on his toes towards the end of the race, but Bennett LCFC ran away since that final restart, has been in cruise control for these final few laps, and out of the last corner, out onto the start finish straight, Bennett is going to take another win here at XL. The reigning champion takes round 1 of the season, takes the checker flag. Well done to Bennett LCFC in the Mercedes. It's the Silver Arrows, or should I say the Black and Silver Arrows, kicking off the season in the best possible way. Derby Bay takes a 2nd place finish there, holds off Andrew Pittsmith. What a great show those guys put on for 2nd and 3rd places. Hats off to you guys, really enjoyed calling that one as it went on. And so Derby Bay in 2nd, Andrew Pittsmith completing the podium. Soph is going to come around the final corner in a moment's time, and it'll be a 4th place for her. In fact, I think she is she a lap down? No, she isn't. Chambi was a lap down. He finishes the race in 6th. Soph's going to come up towards the line. It's going to be a P4 for Soph even, as she there finishes the race. Checker flag out for Soph. And Malky is coming through the final few corners, and Malky will pick up 10 championship points in the Aston Martin. A solid result here for Malky. I'm sure we won't be too upset about 10 championship points. We'll be definitely looking to try and be a little bit closer to the action in the next one, though, that is for sure. In towards the final corner, has had a bit of a topsy-turvy race, to be fair, and I'm sure he'll be back stronger than ever for the next round of racing. But Malky crosses the line, and that is that for the race. Bennett is your race winner here for the round 1 of the season at XL F1 here at Bahrain. Join the XL F1 Discord server in the description down below. Join Motive Racing as well, guys. Drop a like on the videos, it really helps us out an enormous amount. We'll see you in the next one for, I think it'll probably be round 3. Sundays are a little bit of a kerfuffle for me, so I'll be broadcasting Wednesday nights here at XL, and I'll also be broadcasting the Monday nights, the Realistic League as well at XL. I'll also be back on Friday night for Motive Racing's F1 League. If any of the drivers watching this would like to get involved in Motive's F1 League on a Friday, 6:45 PM UK time, be sure to hit us up or join the Discord server. Shout out Bennett or any of the guys, they're also in the league, or Horatio. They can also tell you, they can also direct you on where to find Motive's F1 League. But yeah, that'll be the next stop on this channel for F1 XL. I'll be back on for the Realistic League on Monday night, and obviously this time next week, same place, same time for the OGs. Thank you everybody so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great evening, and good night.
Leads this race in the Ginetta, and